Coach Lance here with CFSJ's Inside the Box. Whether you have tight times or tight spaces, we've got you covered. What you're about to follow along with is a 1-hour class shrunk into a 10-minute video. How do we do it? We create pause points, we write out equipment lists, and we give you substitution options to where there is zero thought on your part. So whether you have a hotel room, a hotel gym, or you're lucky enough to be outside, we're going to give you that great CFSJ feel when you're not at CFSJ. So let's take a look at the equipment list. Most of the times fairly minimal, and a lot of times you can substitute these things for things you have around your house, whether it be a water bottle or a filled up backpack. So let's go ahead and grab your phone, let's check out this equipment list, and let's get going. Every class, we're going to start off with 2 minutes of cardio. Now, if you're lucky enough to have a bike or a rower or a treadmill or the outside, let's go ahead and do 2 minutes of rowing or jogging or biking. If you don't have that, then let's start off with some jumping jacks, some step back burpees, some double unders, or some other method of your choice that you can do in the tight space that you're in. If you need a suggestion, let's go ahead and do step back burpees. The thing I love most about step back burpees is they hit everything at once. So instead of making this a dynamic, we're going to make this a very slow, grindy kind of movement, stepping back, engaging that plank on the way forward, driving those hips open, getting that nice hinge and that hamstring stretch, and working the plank and the push-up. By the time you've done about 15 of these, everything is ready. Now again, it's your choice, so let's go ahead and start those 2 minutes now. With the cardio out of the way, let's move on to our dynamic warm-up. Today's dynamic warm-up focuses on 4 main movements. First, the knee up ankle rotation. Balancing through the left leg, pulling that right knee up under its own power, working 5 rotations in each direction, really working that ankle open for good squat mechanics later. Next, we're going to work on piked calf stretch. Similar to a down dog. Let's not try to put too much force on those calves at the beginning. Hinging the hips, driving them to the sky, grounding the shoulders, pushing the hands through the floor, working the heels towards the ground, lengthening the calves. Next, we're going to go into a child's pose for the quadrupedal lat stretch. As soon as you're in a child's pose, let's go ahead and reach that right arm across the body, putting the outside of the hand, putting extreme pressure, feeling that stretch in the lat, giving a second or 2 pause before switching to the other side. We're going to go 10 total here. And lastly, still from that position, let's walk back into a plank, and we're going to go Spider-Man with a double twist. Driving the elbow down to the instep before turning the chest in and away from the knee. Go ahead and give me 10 total. Today's activation focuses on balancing through the hips. We're going to start off with 10 single leg floor touches. Let's go ahead and watch Coach Devin. This is a movement without weight, but looks similar to a single-legged Romanian deadlift. Trying to resist the urge to twist the hips open or close, keeping the shoulder blades back, hinging at the hips. Your first reps may not be your best reps. Be patient with this one. Next, we're going to go into 10 slow tempo air squats. All the proper squat mechanics apply. Pretending almost like you're doing a goblet squat, we're going to slowly pull ourselves. This is not a relaxation, but an active pull into the bottom. Each time you should be going just a little bit deeper, pushing the chest up just a little bit more. And last, we're going to go 10 prone scap activations. Laying face down, almost like you were going to do a Superman, but without taking the head or the chest off the ground. We're going to start with the hands behind the back, bending the elbows, and then pressing overhead. Give me 10. Now, as always, we're going to do 2 rounds of this. You can either rewind and follow along or pause and we'll meet you at the next section. Today's strength is a straight lower body, alternating back and forth between front squats and Cossack squats. Really getting the quads on those front squats, activating the anterior chain, and then reversing it with the Cossack squats, working the glutes and the hamstrings. We're going to be supersetting these single-armed or goblet style, but using a dumbbell or a kettlebell nonetheless. Starting off, we're going to go 6 to 8 single-arm front squats. Notice Coach Devin in a proper rack position, elbow out, shoulder blades back, torso straight up and down, taking a little bit of time, not allowing the weight to bring you forward. If you have the option of different weights, challenging yourself only as much as you can keep your torso upright. Next, we're going to move into those 6 to 8 goblet squats each leg. All right, watching Coach Devin, if you notice, he's working as hard to keep his torso upright as he is to balance on that single leg. Toes pointed forward, controlling the squat, going laterally from left to right. A total of 6 to 8 on each side, or 12 to 16. It's quite a bit of volume. We're going to be supersetting this for 5 rounds. We have 3 minutes to get roughly 24 to 32 repetitions done. It should be enough time, but we don't need to rush. If the weight becomes too challenging and you start to lose form, it's better to err on the side of going a little bit lighter, especially in these 2 movements, and maintaining proper form. All right, let's go ahead and get our timer set. 3-minute countdown timer. We're going to go 5 rounds, starting now, and I'll see you back at the WOD. Now we're ready to talk about that Metcon. The WOD today, Dogtown, is a 6-round for time workout. We have a descending order triplet, starting off with the easiest of our movements, ending off with the most challenging. In terms of weight, we're going to be doing front rack lunges, hang power cleans, and bent rows. Now, let's take a look at Coach Devin demonstrate these front rack lunges. You're keeping the dumbbell or the kettlebell in the same arm as you perform 6 reps on the right and 6 reps on the left. We'll worry about switching arms from round to round, not within the round. Whether you're doing a step forward or a step back lunge, the goal is to protect that back knee. Don't drop so hard that you keep cracking that kneecap. Keeping an active rear leg and keeping that torso upright is going to help protect that knee and give you the most out of this exercise. Next, let's look at the hang power clean. Starting with one of the dumbbell heads touching the floor, body in a deadlift, slow pull till right above the knees, and then a quick explosion. Remember that this is a hip-driven activity. Without the hips, all this is a reverse curl. We're going to go ahead and do all 9 on one side, and then in the next round, we'll hit 9 on the other. And lastly, the single-arm dumbbell bent row. Forward fold into a hinge as if you were doing a deadlift or a good morning, keeping those shoulder blades retracted, pulling the bell to the rib cage or ideally into the armpit. 6 on the right, and then again, next round we'll do 6 on the left. The intention of a workout like this is to alternate body parts while we're moving back and forth. This is going to allow you to push really, really hard while never totally taxing any one part of the body. So unlike a long chipper where you may have 15 or 20 minutes where you're just trying to set a pace, this is definitely a go, go, go. Now this is a 6-round for time, so we're going to go ahead and get a playlist probably in the neighborhood of 12 to 15 minutes. if I can make a suggestion, Dokken is probably a great choice for today. Let's set that timer. Let's get that playlist set. And we're going to begin in 3, 2, 1, go.